My 2024 election prediction is not one that you've seen major channels do, but I have data to back it up. I can tell you guys, you are not expecting it. So let's get into it. So I'm going to start with the safe states for the Republicans and the Democrats. We're going to start with the Democrats. The Democrats are going to win Washington, California, Minnesota, Vermont, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Connecticut, Delaware, Maryland, New York, and Hawaii by safe margins. Now this is already one characterization change. I actually have Maryland as a safe state and not a likely state. And really the reason that I've brought it up to a safe state for the Democrats is the polling out of Maryland, as I'm going to show you right now. The latest poll has Alsobrooks up by 8 points, and the one before that has Alsobrooks up by 11 points. Now the polls before these did show that Hogan was up, but because of this drastic shift in polling and showing that Alsobrooks is up by almost safe margins, and because the state is a deep blue state, I have this as a safe Democrat state. Now we're going to move on to the safe Republican seats. So I'm predicting that these states are going to be won by Republicans by safe margins. Utah, Wyoming, North Dakota, Nebraska, and Nebraska's special election, Missouri, Tennessee, Mississippi, West Virginia, and Indiana by safe margins, putting Republicans safe states at 48 to Democrats 39. Now, if Donald Trump won the election, Republicans would only need 50 seats to win control of the Senate. But if Joe Biden won, Republicans would need 51 seats to win back control of the Senate. Now, Republicans have a very favorable map, and it is looking like Republicans are going to win control of the Senate. So now we're going to go to the likely states for each party. We're going to start again with the Democrats. I'm predicting that New Mexico is going to be a likely state for Democrats. Now, the reason why I have New Mexico as a likely state for Democrats and not a safe state is because of Nella Domenici. Nella Domenici is the likely frontrunner for the Republican nomination in New Mexico. And Nella Domenici is the daughter of a prominent Republican senator, a former Republican senator in New Mexico. He was a very well-liked and beloved senator, and because of her last name or name recognition, I do see this being a likely state, not a safe state for Democrats. Another state that I have as a likely state for Democrats is New Jersey. Now, the reason why I have New Jersey as a likely state and not a safe state for Democrats is because Bob Menendez is launching an independent bid for the New Jersey Senate. Now, Bob Menendez has been scandal-plagued and actually right now is the Democratic senator from the state. But because of the Democratic primary, Andy Kim is now the Democratic frontrunner for the Senate. And because Bob Menendez and Andy Kim, who are both Democrats in the state, are going to be both running for the Senate, it's definitely going to split the Democratic vote. And the Republicans are going to be united behind one candidate in the party. For that reason, because of the Democratic vote being split, I do see Democrats still holding onto the seat, but by a likely margin. The last state that I have as a Democratic likely state is Maine. Now, Angus King is actually an independent, but Angus King caucuses with the Democrats. And Maine I do see being close this election, probably a 6-point win for Democrats. I do see Angus King definitely outrunning Biden in the state. Maine was a state that the Biden only won by 9 points in 2020, but he is a fairly liked incumbent, and that's why I have Maine as a likely margin. Now we're going to go to Republicans' likely states. Now, I'm going to start with Texas. Now, in 2018, Ted Cruz had the battle of his life against Beto O'Rourke. He barely eked out a win in Texas by only 2.6%. But because of the Republican national environment in 2024, I do see him holding on in this state by a likely margin. Also because of the Rio Grande shift in the state, I see this as a likely margin for Republicans. Another state that I have as a likely margin for Republicans is Florida. Now, Florida used to be a battleground state, but has turned sharp to the right in recent years. Now, Florida elected Ron DeSantis by 19 points and Marco Rubio by 16 points in 2022. And because of its large shift to the right, I do see it being a likely margin for Republicans in 2024. So that finishes off our likely states, putting Republicans at a 50 to 42 lead over the Democrats. And if Donald Trump won the election, Republicans would already have a majority. Now we're going to go to the lean states for each party. We're going to start again with the Democrats. I'm predicting that Virginia is going to be a lean Democrat win. Now, the reason why I have this as a lean Democrat win and not a likely or safe Democrat win is because of the national environment and Hung Cao. Hung Cao is a very good candidate for the Republican nomination. He's an Army veteran, and he is one of the best candidates the Republicans could have chosen in Virginia. Another reason why I have Virginia as a lean state is because they actually have a Republican governor in the state. Glenn Youngkin won the race to be governor in Virginia in 2021. I have this as a lean margin for Democrats and not a safe or likely margin. Another state that I have as a lean margin for Democrats is Pennsylvania. Now, Pennsylvania is going to be a very competitive state in the 2024 election. In my last prediction, I have Trump narrowly winning Pennsylvania. But the reason that I have this as a lean win and not a tilt win or even a Republican pickup is because of one reason: Bob Casey. Bob Casey is a very popular incumbent in Pennsylvania. He's won his past elections by 12 points and 15 points and by ridiculous margin in swing state Pennsylvania. Now, while I don't think he's going to win by those margins, I do see him holding on by 4 or 5 points. It's definitely going to be harder because of the national environment in 2024. I would not advise Republicans to really spend too much money in Pennsylvania because I really think it's a lost cause. So I do have that as a lean margin for Democrats. So that finishes off our lean margins. Now I'm going to go to the lean margins for Republicans. I'm predicting that Ohio is going to be a lean win for Republicans. Now, Sherrod Brown is a semi-popular incumbent in Ohio, or Democratic incumbent. But the reason why I have this as a Republican pickup is because in 2012, that was the last election that Sherrod Brown was on the same ticket as a presidential nominee. He won this state by, I'm pretty sure, about 6 points. But you might remember that Barack Obama actually won Ohio in 2012. And because of Ohio's big shift to the right, and because Trump has won the seat by 8 points in 2016 and 8 points in 2020, I do see Ohio being a lean pickup for Republicans. The other state that I have as a lean state for Republicans is Montana. Now, Montana went for Trump by, I'm pretty sure, about 16 points in 2020. And Montana is a very Republican state. And even though Jon Tester, the Democratic incumbent, is pretty popular, I do see Republicans being able to pick up this state. The last poll actually had Tim Sheehy, who's the Republican nominee for the Senate in Montana, up by 6 points, which is amazing considering the ads haven't even started, like the fall ads before the election, and she is already up by 6 points, just showing how Republican this state is, and that's why I have this as a lean margin. And now we're going to go to the top 4 states. These are the states that I am predicting are going to be the most competitive in the 2024 election. We're going to start with the Democrat tilt state. I'm predicting that Wisconsin is going to be a tilt state for Democrats. Tammy Baldwin is a very popular incumbent in Wisconsin, and even though I see Trump winning the state, I don't think that Trump is going to be able to carry Eric Hovde over the finish line. That's why I have Wisconsin as a tilt state for Democrats. The other tilt state for Democrats that I have is Arizona. Now, the reason why I have Arizona as a tilt state for Democrats is because of Arizona's big shift to the left in recent elections. The last 3 Senate elections in the state have all gone to Democrats, and because abortion will be on the ballot in Arizona, abortion is a winning issue for Democrats. It's really gonna drive up turnout in Arizona. I just can't see this state going to Republicans, even though I see Trump narrowly winning Arizona. So that's why I have these 2 states as tilt margins for Democrats. And in the last 2 states, I see both of these ones being tilt states for Republicans. Now, we're going to start with Nevada. The reason why I have Nevada as a tilt state for Republicans is because Nevada has taken a big shift to the right in recent years. In 2022, it elected Joe Lombardo as the Republican governor of the state, actually unseating Steve Sisolak in the state. Adam Laxalt, the Republican nominee for Senate in 2022, he lost by under a point in 2022. And I do see see, because Trump is on the ballot, I do think that's really going to pull Sam Brown over the line, making this a tilt state for Republicans. And then the other state that I have as a tilt state for Republicans is Michigan. The latest poll out of Michigan has Alyssa Slotkin up by 2 points. Michigan is an open seat, and Alyssa Slotkin is a Democratic frontrunner for the Senate. Alyssa Slotkin has big name recognition. She is a prominent Democratic House member in the state. And then the Republican nominee, Mike Rogers, is a retired Republican congressman from the state. Both of these candidates are really top quality. And the reason why I have Rogers winning Michigan, even though I see Trump losing Michigan, is because John James in 2020 outran Trump. And I do see, because Mike Rogers is a good candidate, I do see Mike Rogers also outrunning Trump in the state. I do see Trump barely losing this, but I see Mike Rogers barely getting over the line in Michigan. So there hasn't been too many changes in my prediction. I have Republicans winning 54 seats to Democrats 46 seats. I hope I gave you enough data to show that why I believe that these states will go each way. I really am very confident in this prediction just because of the data that backs this up. I would love to see what you guys think in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. We're trying to get to 500 and then 1,000 before the election. I really appreciate all the support that I've gotten on this channel. And thank you guys again so much for watching. And I'll see you guys in the next one.